TIFU by letting my boyfriend's horrific personal hygiene run our relationship, by user Dobitager. I have been with my boyfriend, 22M, for over 2 years now. I first noticed he didn't have good personal hygiene before we even got together. I noticed he smelled sometimes. He is the loveliest guy and has the sweetest heart, so I could see past the bad sweat. After a few months of being together, I noticed it was much more. For example, his oral hygiene is awful. He barely brushes his teeth, only when I remind him. He says he does, but the plaque and state of his teeth says otherwise, starting to decay at the bottom on a few of them. Also, this one affects me the most, but he doesn't wipe his butt properly / at all after going to the loo. I tried to forget about it the first couple times and put it to an accident. He used to dirty my sheets when he slept over my house, but then it started to get worse where I'd have to wash my sheets pretty much every week, which was expensive for me as a student. I talked to him about this, crying, and said how it affects me and how he needs to sort it ASAP. This was 5 months into our relationship when I said this. We are over 2 years now and he still does it. I have had this conversation with him so many times I can't count. He says he will change it and that he is trying. To be honest, I have seen some improvement from what it used to be like, but it's still happening. FYI, he is a large guy, so I can understand it may be difficult to reach round there, but it's been too long. I reckon if he lost some weight it would help. He has been trying to lose weight for the past 8 months, but I'm not really seeing any change. I'm assuming because his diet hasn't changed. I've been trying to support him through this too. I'd really appreciate some help with how to get some change. Maybe I'm not saying the right thing? It's like he doesn't care about it enough to stop it. It's as though he is comfortable being gross. I don't understand. TLDR, I have allowed my boyfriend's bad hygiene to go mostly unnoticed for 2 years, from staining the bed with poop, decaying teeth from never brushing, and the worst part is he is reluctant to ever change. TIFU by wanting to hook up in my car instead of a hotel, by user FLVGHT. So I'm a young guy and I was recently at one of my friend's weddings. There was a lot of people there and we were having a pretty good time. During the night at the reception, I happened to meet this girl at my table. We were talking, having drinks together and getting to know each other. As the night was going on, the thought of going back to a hotel room came up, but I didn't really want to leave too far away from the party, so I brought up just going to my car and then coming back. When I said this, her face changed. She got pretty annoyed and said that she wouldn't feel comfortable in the car and that I was wrong for suggesting that at this wedding. Everything basically fell apart from that point and we ended up just leaving each other alone the rest of the night. I definitely feel like I fucked up here for sure. TLDRTIFU by mentioning to a girl about hooking up in my car at a wedding instead of leaving for a room. She got disgusted and ended up leaving me for the rest of the night. TIFU by staying in touch with my psych ward friend, by user extra_rate_8552. A few months ago I was in the youth psych ward due to depression. I met a girl who would always listen and be super nice to me, but also tell me unsettling things like having abused animals in her childhood, being able to turn her empathy off, wanting to kill her parents and stuff like that. I was bored and suicidal, thrilled by this unique friendship and thinking nothing of it since we were locked in anyway. However, soon after my release she successfully contested her court order and was discharged against medical advice. We continued to text after that. I realized I was the only person she could confide in and felt bad for her. She would tell me about how bad she was doing and about her suicidal thoughts. Until one day, she sent a voicemail telling me she was planning a whole rampage to kill all the people that had wronged her. Alarmed, I went to the police who, after questioning me, paid her a visit. They called me and said they didn't think she was a danger at all and was probably just angry when saying that. Naturally she concluded that it was me who had betrayed her, but I tried my best to convince her it had probably been my parents who had checked my phone and reported it, and she at least pretended to believe me. Fast forward to today, I suddenly noticed a photo she had sent without any context. When I clicked on it, my jaw dropped. It showed her, posing with bloody hands and face, a lighter in her hand and a burning stove in the background. I concluded the worst and went to the police ASAP. After further questioning, they told me they had already known about it and that she had caused a decent fire in an apartment block and smashed some windows after a fight with her parents. Fortunately, no one besides her was hurt. They thanked me for providing them with further proof and told me she would probably go back to the psych ward. When I left the interview room, I honestly couldn't believe my eyes when I saw her, sitting in the hallway, looking at the floor. Our gaze met and I think we were equally shocked before I quickly walked away. I feel like I'm in deep trouble. Eventually, she will be released again and there's no denying now that snitched on her. I have no trust in the judicial system's judgment anymore. The policeman told me she might be a danger to me but she'll be locked up for a while now and if the smallest thing happens I can just call 911. This is your sign to not stay in touch with the suspect's psych ward friend because that story might not end well. But I hope mine does. TLDR, my friend that I met in the psych ward started a house fire and sent me a photo of it. She saw me at the police station after testifying and now I'm scared of what will happen. TIFU by paying off my wife's car, by user Pops3. The wife and I sold a couple of spare vehicles, stashed the money in a separate bank that we use solely for our mortgage and a few auto pay bills. We've been debating for months about our camper. Do we sell it and get a new one, or keep it and upgrade a few things? This conversation went on far longer than it should have. We decided to keep it so consequently we need to purchase a new truck. Well, this decision produced more options, new or used, half-ton or 3/4 ton. We loosely decided on a plan, pay off her car, wait a month or so and purchase a 3/4 ton used truck. Which leads to my fuck up. I log into my auto financial account to verify the payoff amount, log into my secondary bank account to transfer money to that checking account. Log back to my auto financial and schedule the payment. Perfect payment is pending. This morning on my into work I swing by the gas station for my daily energy drink and breakfast burrito. Much to my surprise my Apple Pay transaction is declined, twice. Hey, that's weird, there's money in the account. I log into my primary bank account, this is our everyday, paychecks deposited into bank account, and to my utter horror I see an $18,000 deficit. I used the wrong account when scheduling the car payoff. TLDR. Paid wife's car off with wrong account, breakfast burrito purchase declined due to $18,000 deficit. TIFU by making my wife laugh so hard she threw up. In my car. Twice, by user Buryedmundis my alias. Driving to get an ultrasound, my wife asked to stop for us to get some orange juice. She mentioned about an ad for an insurance company that had some dude with $1 on a fishing line. I do some work for an insurance company, so she said I should take notes. I said good idea, I'll bring $1 on a fishing line to my next meeting. Apparently that was such a beacon of distilled comedic imagery that she did a spit take, followed by laughter and vomiting in the footwell of my car. After apologies, and immediate forgiveness from me, she went to take another drink. When we left she asked which car to take and I said mine. As she was drinking, not that I knew, eyes on the road, I muttered should have taken your fucking car after all and then she did it again. Full-on blast of OJ on the front window, glove compartment, floor, and seat. We had to turn back for her to get changed and for me to clean the car, which I just did, and now I'm sat here waiting so we can go to the bloody ultrasound. TLDR, wife threw up and spat orange juice all over the inside of my car due to 2 B-tier jokes at best, which just clarifies what I always knew. She has very low standards.